Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann, and I show men and women how they can create healthy, happy, sustainable lives. And I'm really delighted because today I'm joined by Erin Harris. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm good. It's really great to see you. Now, for those of you that don't yet know who Erin is, she works as a business and leadership coach. But before we get into that, Erin, I'm really curious to know a little bit about your upbringing. Were your
Sure.
parents, were they natural leaders?
Well, that's a good question. I would say yes. So I grew up in a small town in New Hampshire, and I would say, and my mother was a leader in her job, and um, then it was a lot about you had a family and you worked full time, and you made all that work and my brother and I did all the activities and um, we made it work. And so yeah, I think they led a great family and a great life. And my brother and I are proof of their success. So yeah.
Brilliant. So, what kind of values did you learn as you were growing up? Can you remember? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I think the biggest one that I carry with me today is that anything's possible, right? I was always told you can be whatever you want to be. I was smart and witty and strong. I've been personally, I think I've been a leader since the day my brother was born. Maybe before that, I just wanted to take charge and be in charge, and I still kind of carry that role with me. In my with my family, in my personal and professional life, with my friends. So yeah.
Wow, what a great thing to instill in your children that anything is
Yeah.
possible. I guess there's a little caveat, isn't there, with that, which is providing you put the effort in.
Yes. Yes, of course. And that's part of getting older and learning and having the life experiences is really, yeah, where do you want to put the effort into being anything? What do you want to create for yourself? um, and being allowed to change your mind and change direction and you know change from what you've learned from your experiences.
Brilliant. Yeah. Were there things that you actually struggled with as you were growing up?
um Of course, I think everybody does. It's a crazy first thing I think about is my name is not real popular or wasn't growing up and was always confused with a boy name. And so I felt that, that always felt like, until someone saw me and knew me, that my name might have been I don't know, just a little bit of barrier for me. It took me a very long time to embrace it and love it. I struggled, I was very short. So, I struggled with, not being able to see everything and not, always kind of stretching up. I think like many people in my teenage years with confidence, with body issues, with just going through life of, growing from a child to a teen to an adult. So all the same things everybody else I'm sure goes through. So
Yeah, it's a tricky time, isn't it? Negotiating,
yes.
being a teenager. I'm just wondering, Erin, if the older, wiser you were to give that younger you that wasn't confident and had those things going on for you some advice, what would it be?
Yeah, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. So it is you are who you are and you don't have to apologize for that. And I think, trying to fit in and find who you are and who you want to be in the world. Sometimes you might you're a little bit like a chameleon sometimes, especially in those teen years, right? And so you kind of try on different hats and see what fits for you. And I think, I might be a little going back, I would give advice like don't wear so many hats, don't try on so many things, just kind of go inside and be who you are.
I love that. If we could all just be who we are, I mean, what a difference it would make to the world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I can't say in my 40s that's changed every day either. You still, struggle occasionally with confidence, and but yes, it's definitely more top of mind and easier to accept yourself with all of your flaws and all of your positive, attributes as you get older.
Absolutely. So what happened then once you'd left home?
Well, I left New Hampshire and moved here to North Carolina right after I got married. So I was 26 years old, and I would going back. That's another thing I would tell my younger self, like, marriage is a big step, and taking a big step of marriage and immediately moving to a place where nobody is definitely a lot to shove into a 2-month period. But I always wanted to. I think that was the independent part of me. I always wanted to branch out and see more than where I grew up, and having that life partner that wanted to do that too. It was like, all right, we're married, we're allowed to go, try living another place and see what it's about. And we've really made a great home here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and yeah, it was definitely a good decision in the end, but it's a challenge to leave everything you've known. I mean, I was 5 miles down the road from my parents, and close to all of my cousins and aunts and uncles. And so, yeah, it's a little hard to leave that, but I get up there as much as I can now.
Fantastic. And what about your career journey, Erin? So what did
Yeah.
you do for work once you've left home and you're at the big wide world? Tell us about your career path.
Yeah. So I started, not to age myself, but I answered an ad in the newspaper for an accounting assistant at a sports marketing firm. And I started out there in 2003, and I was with them for 15 years. So I eventually moved up to the CFO, and I spent my whole career just learning and growing in that industry. And that's taken me to where I am today. Is what I learned about being, a CFO was, I love numbers, but I'm not your 9 to 5 like desk numbers person. I like to be out and I'm very passionate about creating things. And so I was lucky enough to have an opportunity in that career to do more than just, the finances, to go out to events and help put them together, and see all the fans and attendees enjoy the fruits of our labor. And yeah, so it's really, gosh, 15 years is a long time, so it's hard to sum up everything I learned, but it was, I wouldn't trade it. It was a great experience.
Can you tell us about some of the events, or a particular
Yeah.
event that really sticks out? Maybe that perhaps didn't go according to plan, maybe that, but something that you really remember vividly.
Wow. Yeah. So I remember a time at one of our events. It's a marching band event. There's 55,000 people in the stands, and usually our halftime act is some type of artist. So a singer of some sort. And so we had a young gentleman who was the act, and I won't say his name, he's still popular, but because everybody's going to be watching this, right? But I saw him in his green room, and told him have a good show. And in between that and him coming out, he added a hat to his wardrobe that was black with big white letters with a big curse word against on it. And he ran out and not even on the stage, he ran out in the middle of the football field on the 50-yard line. And, you know, of course, the cameras zoom in and I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Like, I mean, it took everything in me not to like run out and just tackle him and be like, take it off. This is a family friendly event. I would say that one sticks out so much in my mind because, oh, what a mess on that one. You know, he did, you know, with a lot of sign language and flailing arms, did manage to take it off. But wow, yeah, that one will stick with me. Yeah, always do a last look before you let someone go out in front of 55,000 people, right?
Oh my goodness, that's so many people, isn't it? I could just
Yeah.
imagine you rugby tackling it. Shame you didn't. Anyway, I'm really wanting to know, Erin, what made you decide then to become a business and leadership coach?
Well, this, you know, spending a lot of years in sport marketing, it's a traditionally male-led industry, and when I left that and wanted to kind of go out on my own, coaching has always appealed to me. I've been coached before. I have a great mentors in my life, and um, I've done a lot with some of the volunteer work I do in some coaching. And you know, like many of us, we had to kind of reinvent ourselves during COVID. And that was one of the things that I decided to follow my passion and begin a coaching career with the desire of really helping build the confidence and leadership and business skills of women. And, you know, women in traditionally male-led industries, just, you know, helping them find their voice and step up and be the perfect, wonderful people that they are. So.
Fantastic. If someone watching then, Erin, is really struggling in their business right now, perhaps they're not being taken seriously either by their employees or teammates, or maybe even their customers or competitors, what advice would you have for them, if any?
You know, that's a good
It's a
question.
big
I think
question,
that
isn't it? I know it's a big question.
it is. You know, it probably goes back to what we were saying earlier too, is I think looking inside of yourself and being true, you know, authenticity and you know, being genuine. If you lead with that, you and it doesn't work out in your favor, then it's taking a step back and going, well, is this really the right fit? And I think in a lot of things in life, it's about the right fit. Not making something work because you feel you have to, or you know, not taking a chance because you're scared. It's really figuring out what fits for you, and whether that's in, you know, business and it is, you just need the confidence to step up and speak up, or if it's allowing yourself to change direction and try something new. Anything's possible. So you just have to, I'm big on, you just gotta, you know, the answers, you just gotta allow yourself to hear them.
I love that. And that, of course, means stopping, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Stopping to be able to do
Yes.
that. And I absolutely love that you said, you know, it is about being ourselves, because, you know, work for a lot of people takes up most of their time, the majority of their time, or the other half's probably sleeping. But, you know, actually, it's really, really important, I think, that we're enjoying our work, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Of course. And you know, part of that industry too, and a, you know, not just sport marketing, but a lot of competitive type industries. It's always, I don't want to say always. It's traditionally you got to work to get what you want. And sometimes that balance is missed. And I actually have a quote right here that I've been working on a blog post on, that has been really resonating with me and a couple of my clients too. And it really speaks to balance in your work, in your life. But that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. And to me, that's a lot about really taking a breath and remembering that your career is not who you are. It's something that you do. And how do you do that the best way you can, get where you want to be with still being, like we said, the authentic, genuine you, but also keep wellness in mind at the same time. You need to be a healthy whole you. So
I love that. And that's such a profound quote, isn't it? I mean, it's a
yeah,
really
and I don't
thought.
I don't know who said it. I heard it recently on a podcast, and I think there's those things that you hear that come up, and then they come up again, and then they come up again, and it's like, okay, there's a little voice telling you, you need to pay attention to this one. And it's definitely a lesson I think I learned the hard way, but it's also something that's just great to always remind yourself, because the best thing you can be for other people is, the healthiest version of yourself. So.
Absolutely. And better late than never, to never.
Better late than never, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm going to obviously put all your links below this video. So please go and check out Erin. But one final question, Erin.
Yes.
When you're can't even speak. When you're no longer on this planet, how would you like to be remembered?
I think, well, I did an internal investigative, I guess, exercise. And it was about kind of attaching some words to the essence of who you are. And my words were genuine, passionate, powerful, and grounded. And I think that's how I want to be remembered.
Wonderful. It's been really lovely talking to you. Erin Harris, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you for having me.